What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video, and today in this video I'm gonna be reviewing the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and this is the bronze kind of color that I have got, and I have been using the device for quite a while now, about 4 to 5 days I guess. Here is my full review of the Redmi Note 10 Pro. So let's begin. Now I have made some key points over here on this device and I'll talk about them. So let's start with the build quality. Well, this time around the Redmi Note 10 Pro simply feels amazing in the hand, and the build, I would say, in my personal opinion, yes, I have used the Redmi K20 Pro, and coming from that device, I would say the build quality over here is great, and even with the 5000 mAh battery, this device feels a lot lighter considering this has a 6.67 inch Super AMOLED 120Hz display. The frame is plastic, back has glass. This is a frosted glass kind of design, and on the front you get Gorilla Glass 5. Yes, the back does not have any kind of Gorilla Glass certification, but in my opinion that is fine. For the price of 17,000 rupees, I would say the build quality is one of the best that you can get out there. Yes, I have applied a tempered glass over here because of the screen protection. So if I apply the stock case, the corners become a little bit like loose, I would say, of the tempered glass. So yeah, that's how it is. I have ordered a case. Let's see when it comes. I think it will arrive tomorrow. So right now let's talk about some other points. The display, that is one of the key features of this device, or you can say one of the most amazing selling points of this particular device, because simply it offers a 120Hz AMOLED display. Like, where do you get those? In like OnePlus devices? But here you are getting a 120Hz AMOLED display for just 17,000 rupees. Yes, this device does not feature a flagship kind of CPU. Of course, you can get the Poco X3 Pro if you want a really great performer only in terms of the CPU performance and the storage performance and stuff. Yes, you do not get any UFS 3.1 or something. The storage here is UFS 2.2 I guess, or 2.1, I'm not really sure. But the experience over here is quite the flagship one. Again, not in terms of gaming or something. This is just, I'm talking about daily driving experience over here. And again, the display colors are totally accurate, and it has poppy colors, and the blacks are deep because it is the AMOLED display, and the usage experience over here is flawless. Like, the fluidity of the display is amazing, and I love the colors over here, even though in low brightness there are some issues, and you will see in low brightness and grays does not look that good. It has some kind of jittery feeling if you're looking at very low brightness grays. And like the gray colors over here, like if you remove all the Chrome tabs, you will see a window in Chrome that is gray. So those kind of things I'm talking about here. Now let's talk about the software update situation over here. Yes, I have already got one update over here, that is from 12.0.6 to like the 12.0.8. Now I have noticed one difference over here. Like on the 12.0.6, if I open test UFO website, I have seen the FPS goes about 105, 110 FPS. But right now, if I open test UFO, as you are noticing, I get about 90 to 85 FPS over here. So that is quite a lot of drop in my opinion. But that might be because MIUI has decided to improve the battery life. That is why they are toning down the FPS a little bit in Chrome or something. So yeah, that could be the case. Now let's talk about the screen's viewing angles a little bit. Well, the colors does shift a little bit. Like, even if you tilt the device a little bit sideways, I can see a little bit rainbowing on the screen sometimes, but does not happen with all the colors. Like if you are looking at a white kind of subject, you can see a little bit of rainbowing effect over here. So yeah, the tint is there a little bit. Like even if you move the device a little bit to the sideways, the AMOLED tint kind of thing, like the rainbowing thing, does appear over here. That's one point that I should mention. Again, the display quality over here is amazing, but definitely I would say it is not on par with the Redmi K20 Pro's colors. Definitely the Redmi K20 Pro will win in the color quality, but here the 120Hz refresh rate specs is just amazing. It feels a lot fluid over here. So in that aspect, like the AMOLED fluidity, definitely the Redmi Note 10 Pro will win because of the 120Hz refresh rate. Now let's talk about one more thing, that is the fingerprint gesture that I'm really liking over here, but sometimes it does accidentally do weird things. So like if I'm holding the device like this and somehow it double touches the fingerprint scanner and it opens the calculator app because I have said that. So that happens, but yes, this is a very handy feature if you want to open calculator or take a screenshot with that double touch of the fingerprint scanner. You can use this feature. Now this is simply a two-handed device. This is not a single-handed device. I cannot simply reach I have small hands, but I cannot simply reach the corners of the screen with one single hand. It feels very risky when I do that. So yeah, it definitely feels like it will fall from my hand. But yeah, this is a very big device. This is not a small one-handed usage kind of device like the Redmi K20 Pro. I can use it with one single hand, but here on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, I can simply say I cannot simply feel comfortable while using it with one single hand. I have to use two hands to use the device with confidence. Now let's talk about the charging speed. This device features a 33-watt fast charger in the box. That's amazing thing, right? Well, somewhat. I would say the stock charger, that is the 33-watt charger, is kind of a gimmick in my opinion, if you live in India, because most of the times in India the outdoors temperatures are 35 degrees or more than that in most months. If it's not winter, it's definitely above 35 degrees in India, at least where I live. So in my opinion, this is a bummer, because why I'm talking about this temperature kind of stuff, you would ask. Whenever the temperature of the battery over here is below 35 degrees, if it's 32 degrees, let's assume, the phone will definitely fast charge at 4500 mAh. That is not an issue. But whenever the battery temperature goes above 35 degrees, which is even if you are charging from 32 degrees temperature, it will charge at 4600 mAh or 5000 mAh. That is about a lot of fast charging. But afterwards, when it charges 5 to 10% more, then the device becomes hot, more than 35 degrees. That's when the milliampere just drops. Maybe Xiaomi is trying to keep the devices cool, because some people does complain about device getting hot while charging and stuff. Maybe Xiaomi just does not want to hear that. That is the reason why they are doing that. Maybe it will be fixed with a CustomRom update or something, but in MIUI maybe they can fix it, but I'm not really sure. So here I would say the situation of fast charging is not that great. Whenever the device crosses 35 degrees Celsius, the charging rate just drops, and you can see how much it drops. So in my opinion, this is not a good experience. The device definitely takes a lot more if the room temperature is higher than 35 degrees, or if the device temperature is higher than 35 degrees. So that's how it is. If you are someone who lives with AC or something, you can keep your room's temperature about 32, 33 degrees. This device will fast charge flawlessly, no issues whatsoever here. Now the charging animation is quite cool, that in quick charge, the 18-watt charging, it shows quick charge. But if you plug in that 33-watt charger, first it shows quick charge, then it switches to the Mi Turbo charging. So that looks cool over here, as you are noticing. Now talking about MIUI experience over here, I would say this is one of the best MIUI experience that I have got so far. I don't see much ads. I don't know why. Yes, I have disabled the MIUI ad kind of thing while doing the setup over here, and because of that maybe I am not seeing that much of ads. In terms of the ads, I'm only getting that get apps kind of notification. Other than that, I haven't seen much ads over here. So the ad situation is quite fine for me. And again, the fluidity of MIUI right now has been improved a lot. And in my opinion, this is one of the best MIUI experience that I have got here. This device is a great overall performer in my opinion. And I would say in terms of daily driving and stuff, that I'm saying while coming from the Redmi K20 Pro, keep that in mind. That has a Snapdragon 855, and here you are getting only a Snapdragon 732G. Even with that, I would say the performance over here while daily driving, it will be great experience. Now if you're using the dark theme, I would say definitely it is a AMOLED display. You are free to use the dark theme, but while using the dark mode, I would say disable these two options. That will help. While taking a screenshot, I see if these options are enabled, the screenshots becomes a little bit dark, then it affects some apps too. So I don't like those kind of things. So I would say if you're using dark mode, make sure you disable those, these two features over here. That will help you. And the Redmi Note 10 Pro also has really great buttons. I would say these buttons do feel tactile, including the power button, and considering the volume buttons too, they are very clicky and seems good while pressing. As you are noticing, the buttons are very tactile feeling, I would say, and they do respond fine all the time. So no issues with the buttons, the great quality buttons that you get here. Also, one more thing that I should mention over here, that because of this camera bump, if you are putting the device on a desk or something, it definitely dangles a little bit. So if you are not using a case or something, be careful about scratching the camera lens because it has a really big camera bump over here. So definitely you should take care of it with a case or a protective glass or something. Otherwise it might scratch the camera glass. If you are worried about that, be careful to have a camera kind of guard or something over here with a case or something that you are using, because this device, if you're using without a case, if you put it on a desk, it definitely dangles a little bit. And also let's talk about some accidental touches that I have over here experienced. And I would say I am not using the device with a case. Maybe that's the reason why it is doing that. But sometimes while I'm watching videos with like this, it touches the screen over here somehow, and it keeps the playback if I'm watching YouTube like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So that kind of thing happens with me, like some accidental touches on the edges does happen over here. So I would say the palm touch rejection or something is not that great here, even in the latest MIUI update. Now let's talk about the call quality and stuff. Well, here the improvement is you are not getting any MIUI kind of bloatware, that is the MIUI dialer, no MIUI contacts, no MIUI messaging. You are getting the Google dialer, the Google messaging, and the Google contacts as well. That is great thing. And also the call quality over here is great. No issues that I have had even with headphones or any kind of Bluetooth headset. I would say the call quality should be great over here, no issues whatsoever. Also talking about the loudspeaker over here is great. Even while you are playing content, it has stereo speakers, so the music or sound quality experience is great. But I would say moving from the Redmi K20 Pro over here on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, the loudspeaker quality is a little bit tinny, even though it has two speakers over here, stereo speakers. But I would say it does feel a little bit tinier to me. In the past, this is the Redmi Note 3 that I have bought and used it heavily, and in the past, this is the Redmi Note 3 that I have bought and used it heavily, and I have. But don't get me wrong, the stereo experience over here is great. This device definitely feels a lot more premium than it is, and I would say the build quality is one of the best, and it has this round kind of edges over here on the sides. So even in the back, holding the device like this is a pleasure in my opinion. So Xiaomi has really spent time to design this device, and it feels a lot better than you would expect with any kind of device from this price point. But this device definitely feels lighter than the Poco X3 Pro or something. Like this device is about 192 or 96 grams. That is a lot lighter with a device which has 5000 mAh battery in my opinion. Now let's talk about the cameras. Well, it has a 64 megapixel camera, that is the Samsung GW3 sensor. Then it has a macro lens also, and it has a wide angle 8 megapixel camera that is not that great in the rear. And on the front you are getting a very small kind of a punch hole, I would say, and that is a 16 megapixel camera on the front. And I would say the experience with all the cameras are great. If you want to see a full in-depth camera review, you can check out the card right there. Also the unboxing will be there in the cards, do not worry. Now let's talk about the Gcam situation over here. And I have installed some Gcam APKs. I don't find those Gcam APKs to be on par with the stock cameras of now. So in my opinion, the stock camera is great. And of course you can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS over here. You cannot shoot 4K 60 FPS in case you are wondering about that. And there are a lot of features in the camera like the dual video and stuff. Then portrait mode also works. 64 megapixel camera is just amazing, and the 64 megapixel mode itself is amazing. And yeah, pretty much a really great camera experience that you are gonna get. The cameras are again one of the key points overall on this device, and the camera UI does not lag at all over here, that I have experienced in some Redmi Note 7 Pro and stuff previously, but here those things just does not happen. I would say this device does not have any kind of heating issue at all in my experience. While I'm extracting some zip files and I'm browsing the internet, of course, then I'm downloading some stuff. Even if I do that, the device does not get heated up or something, and everything works fluidly. Even when I'm outdoors, I haven't seen any kind of lag, hitting kind of issue lag. I have never seen that in this device. So no lags or stutters due to heating, or no throttling in my opinion. That is a really great thing that this device offers. It does not simply heat up while daily driving usage, I would say. Now let me show you some gameplay footages. Right now, let's talk about the battery life over here. In my opinion, you are gonna get one of the best battery lives that is out there in this price segment, and even I would say when I compare it with the Redmi K20 Pro 2, you will get better battery life than the Redmi K20 Pro for sure. In this price segment, I would say you're gonna get one of the best battery lives pretty much, and of course you are gonna get 6+ hours of screen on time with 120 Hz of display settings. So that is amazing in my opinion, that you are getting 6.5 hours of screen on time even with 120 Hz refresh rate. That is just insane, and I would say you cannot simply kill the battery over here in like one full day usage. In my opinion, you will still have 30 to 40% juice left at the end of the day. Well, that is what I have been experiencing even after when I'm using the device heavily. Now let's talk about the fingerprint scanner and the face unlocking experience over here. Both are amazing, I would say. Like there is double tap to wake on the lock screen and stuff. You can use the face unlock like that, and the face unlocking speed is just insanely good. No issues that I have had. Also, the fingerprint scanner is very accurate, but sometimes I feel a little bit weird because I have first time used this side kind of mounted fingerprint scanner. It takes a little bit of time to get used to. Like if you accidentally touch it while you are putting the device in your pocket, then the device stays unlocked in your pocket. That is a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, you can turn that off. You can use it on like pressing. After pressing only, the fingerprint scanner will like work. That you can set if you want to use it like that, but I use it on touch. So yeah, that is how it is. Like you have to get used to. It will take a little bit of time in my opinion. If you have used a side mounted fingerprint scanner, you will get used to it quickly, but if you haven't, it will take a little bit of time. But overall experience with the fingerprint scanner and as well with the face unlock is amazing. Both are accurate and both are very fast experience over here. Unlocking is just a breeze. Now talking about the benchmarks over here, here are the Antutu and Geekbench scores on the latest MIUI 12.0.8. Now, one of the key features in my opinion while I'm buying the device, I look for is the custom ROM development, and the Redmi Note series has been one of the best so far in XDA or custom ROM development, and this device is no different. Like it has launched I think last month. It has a TWRP unofficial recovery. Today itself there is a Orange Fox recovery, that is an unofficial one, but still it has a Orange Fox recovery at least. In terms of custom ROMs, it has Lineage OS, it has Arrow OS, official Arrow OS, but it has a lot of ROMs already. So you can guess how much it will be like better in the future in terms of custom ROMs. So this device is gonna be one of the best in the coming years for custom ROM development in my opinion. So if you are someone who uses custom ROMs like me, you can definitely go for this device, and that's the key reason why I went for the Redmi Note 10 Pro instead of the Poco X3 Pro. Because the Poco X3 Pro's development, I'm not really sure how it will be, but I'm pretty sure that it will be lesser than the Redmi Note 10 Pro pretty much. Because even if you go into the GSM arenas, like in the statistics, you will see the Redmi Note 10 Pro is a lot popular, like on par with the Mi 11 Ultra. That is amazing. And look at Poco X3's number. So in terms of popularity, the Redmi Note 10 Pro is great. And that is the reason why the custom ROM development in future is gonna be great, because this is an overall amazing device. So should you buy the Redmi Note 10 Pro? If you ask me, I would say definitely. I mean, if you're looking for an upgrade from your Redmi Note series devices like the Redmi Note 7 Pro, let's guess, or even the Redmi Note 8 Pro, Note 9 Pro, etc. if you have, I would say if you are someone who loves to switch to an AMOLED display, or if you have dreamt of an AMOLED display device, definitely you can upgrade to this device. And the AMOLED display quality you are getting for this kind of price is just insane in my opinion. This is the best thing that you can get. I've got the 6+ 128GB variant for just 17,000 rupees. You can also go for the 16,000 rupees variant, that is the 6+ 64, or if you have the budget, then you can go for the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max that has the 108 megapixel camera. You can go for it if you just want that 108 megapixel camera. Otherwise, I don't see any reason that you should go for it, because the Note 10 Pro and the Pro Max only has that like camera kind of difference, the main camera kind of difference. Other things, everything are similar. You're getting the same fast charger, you're getting the same display, everything else is similar. Now, who should go for the Poco X3 Pro? Well, if you're someone who spends a lot of time while like doing mobile gaming on your device, you can definitely go for the Poco X3 Pro. That is an amazing device too, but in my opinion, like it is a little bit more heavier, has a plastic back, and it feels a little bit weird in the build quality opinion. I would say I have talked to the people who have used Poco X3, and I would say they always say that that is a very heavy device. So yeah, if you're looking for a lighter, better build quality kind of thing, you can definitely go for the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Overall, it will like satisfy in every department. Like the color quality is great, 120 Hz AMOLED display that simply you cannot get with any other device of this segment. These kind of things definitely makes a difference, and it has a 5000 plus mAh battery. Yes, the fast charging is a little bit of a, I would say, gimmick. Might be fixed with the software update, but I'm pretty sure that that will be fixed with custom ROMs pretty much. So that's what I think. Let me know in the comments what do you think, and thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, share this video with your friends if you feel like. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.